Hey everybody, happy Tuesday afternoon. This is Casey Marx, founder of Crown Haven Wealth Advisors, independent wealth management and retirement planning practice here in Carmel, Indiana. I just had an appointment with a client, a prospective client for our firm, and this is a wonderful gentleman that wants to, is much like everybody else, wants to make sure that they're going to be okay in retirement. And I usually don't do this, but we hear these stories every day, and I wanted to share this with you because I heard a quote recently, and let me back up for a second. I heard a quote recently that really resonated with me, and it was by Ray Dalio, who is the world's largest hedge fund manager, Bridgewater Associates, and he said, he believes that the greatest tragedy of man are opinions that are wrong, that are then acted upon, which so easily could have been stress tested to have created different action and therefore could have prevented massive pain and created a better outcome. And I thought about that, and that's what we do every day here. We stress test opinions that are held by our clients, and we, in a very real way, we do diagnostics on their portfolios to determine whether or not their holdings are in alignment with what they want their life to look like. So I want to kind of get back to this client. So here's a client that took an early retirement from a very prominent local company at 56 years old. And he's got some time prior to when he can take Social Security, and he's got close to $1 million when he does it. And this is in 2016. So the markets are doing pretty well. At that point in time, one could assume, and he had a pension also. So his pension's a couple $1,000s a month. All he's thinking is, I've got to fill those gaps, the gap rather, between the time I'm taking my pension and when I'm going to turn on Social Security, and I need to do that from my investments, which is a lot of people what they're trying to accomplish right now. 2016. The markets were on fire from 2017, essentially, into COVID, which was a black swan event, which we did not see coming. And then they rebounded very quickly, V-shaped recovery. And now, we're dealing with the fallout of the modern monetary theory, and markets are dropping again. But long story short, this gentleman had close to $1 million. Right now, he has $250,000 to his name. And he was taking a larger withdrawal than what is advised, but it was to maintain a standard of living. So now what is this gentleman having to do? And what are the repercussions for his life? He's selling his home, and if you live in Indianapolis, this is a home near Geist Reservoir, which is a very nice place. He's selling his home, which he's put money into for the last 30 years. His mortgage is very low on it, the remaining amount of his mortgage. But he's selling his home in order to essentially raise cash for his retirement. He's having to figure out where to go to downsize. He's now finally realizing that the advisor that he was working with was charging him 1% to lose his money in the world's largest casino. And the approach that the advisor was taking, the traditional stock bond allocation, wasn't going to work. And his real rate of return over that period of time was less than 5%, which was not sustainable to create the income that he needed to create, which is why his portfolio dipped in value. That, on top of the fact that he experienced a couple major losses from 2016 to now. Okay, so what has that caused his family? He's anticipating being served with divorce papers. As this has happened, his mother, who we all care for our mothers, has come down with dementia. So now he's having to take care of his mother. So these are we're the in-between generation, right? The folks that are 50, 60, 70, they're having to care for their parents while they're caring for kids, their grown-up kids that are my age. A lot of kids that are in their mid-30s, 40s, didn't really ever take off. Well, you got a lot of folks that are in their 70s having to make sure their kids are okay and their parents are okay. And you can just see the stress on this person's face. Now at Crown Haven with our RetireSHIELD, we're going to be able to solve this for him. And I'm very thrilled that he came in to have us help him. But imagine the difference had he come into us in 2016, and I know this to be true. Had we had a truly diversified portfolio where the money he needed to rely on for the rest of his life was not susceptible to so much volatility. In other words, his portfolio was set up properly for his risk capacity. So now imagine that $1 million, instead of it all being over here in the world's largest casino, being charged 1%. Now imagine maybe $600,000 of that wasn't in that casino and it was in something that was insured, guaranteed to be safe, earning 6 to 8%. Well now, let's say the market drops 20% on $400,000. It's an $80,000 loss, but is it devastating to him in the same way that it was devastating to him and all of those ripple effects have happened since then? Probably not. So this is real life, and this is what I see every day. And nobody is above it. And the only way to approach it, and then things like the inflation report comes out, by the way. 9% inflation, 10% inflation. Healthcare is getting more expensive. Taxes are going to go up. We all are dealing with these same issues, but unless we establish a portfolio that is going to protect us in good times and bad times, unless we have a plan to effectively distribute our capital to ourselves so that we do not reduce our principal, and unless we are in a position of safety to begin with so that if losses do occur in the market, it doesn't destroy us, then all these other issues, inflation, taxation, those are like second, third, fourth order effect problems. And so again, I don't normally do this, and I know it's been almost a 10-minute video, so if you've stuck it out, God bless you. But I look at this stuff every day, and we solve this every day for folks. And this is why I'm still here doing this. This is why I'm helping people every day with this, because it's so serious and it's so real. And my personal story with my family and my mother, after my dad passed away, she was going through the same thing. And it's so darn important. It's so important. So, if you're making assumptions about your retirement, if you're not sure if it's going to work, if your plan is based on hypotheticals, not guarantees, if you are paying somebody right now to ride the market, if you are using common knowledge but you've never really identified what matters to you and made sure your portfolio is in alignment with that, made sure you need to do those things. And there are firms out there that do it really well. I hope everybody has a fantastic Tuesday. Let me know what you think about this video. Don't just, thumbs up. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you know people that have experienced the same things. Tell me if you know people have avoided those same things. Let's get talking about this. It's important. People don't talk about money because they consider it a topic that shouldn't be talked about. Well, you know what? Information should be shared, because our lives, the decisions we make, they make a huge impact on our future. And I am in a very unique position to witness those decisions prior to when somebody ends up at my doorstep and I help them. And then we get to see the value of the good decisions we make after the fact. But as much as I can, I want to provide people that knowledge ahead of time so they don't make those same mistakes. I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day.